Good morning, everyone. Well, we saw a couple of severe storms pop up in Nebraska yesterday, and unfortunately, we're expecting more severe storms in more locations both today and tomorrow. So let's walk you through both days, starting at 8 a.m. this morning. No severe storms out there early this morning, but scattered showers and weak thunderstorms, some heavy rain and lightning in spots for the morning commute in the central part of the state. And this area of rain is going to keep pushing to the east, but is going to be losing its intensity. So now we're looking at noon, and by noon, chance for isolated showers in the Lincoln and Omaha area, but not a guarantee that you're going to see rain. It's going to be breezy across the state this afternoon, gusts 20-25 miles per hour, and temperatures will continue to rise and will peak in the late afternoon. Some are going to make it into the low 80s. The 70s will be most common, and a few places might get stuck in the upper 60s. And I'm stopping things at 6 o'clock this afternoon because this is when I think new storms will start to fire up in the western part of the state, and unfortunately, yes, these storms could be severe. Most will just be regular thunderstorms, but in spots, some severe storms are expected. So let's just go in 2-hour increments here. Tell you what, I think the peak in the intensity of these storms is probably going to be 8, 9, 10 o'clock. Now, the storms are still going to be expanding in coverage during this time, but this is also when they're likely to be the strongest. So notice by the time we get to 10 o'clock, now I'm talking about a good chance of storms in the Panhandle, also around McCook and North Platte. And we do expect additional storms to fire up even later in the evening. Look what happens in the northern part of the state around O'Neill, Norfolk, Sioux City around midnight. Yes, storms and possibly severe storms, though the later and later we get into the night, the less likely it is that these storms will be severe. I'm going to still leave in a chance around midnight. But I do think by 2 a.m., the atmosphere is stable enough that, yes, there could still be some lingering showers and weak thunderstorms, but the chance for severe storms going away. So to summarize, who has a chance of severe storms and who does not? Well, let's start with who does not. Notice the southeastern part of the state. Grand Island, Columbus, Lincoln, Omaha, Beatrice, you're in the clear for today and tonight, but between 6 o'clock this afternoon and possibly as late as 2 a.m., everyone else, yes, there is a chance. Now, the chance is lower in the area shaded in green, the level 1 risk, the marginal risk. The area we're most concerned about is really North Platte, McCook, and on over to the west. This is where severe storms are most likely. Not a guarantee that you're going to see severe storms, even if you're in the yellow, but this is where the highest chance is. Regular thunderstorms most likely, but severe storms certainly a possibility. So worst case scenario, let's talk about that. Biggest thing I'm concerned about is hail. It is possible that in a couple spots we could see hail as big as golf balls. Wind gusts as high as 60 miles per hour, also a possibility. You know, we saw a little bit of flooding last night in the Panhandle, and I'm not going to rule it out again. A few places we could see a few flooded roads, particularly if it's a low line or a poorly drained location. And though the chance is small, we cannot rule out a couple of EF0 or EF1 tornadoes popping up as well. Again, a chance for all of this anywhere shaded on this map, but the greatest risk, particularly during the evening hours, in the area shaded in yellow, so the western part of the state. Now, I wish we could stop there, but we can't. We still have to talk about what's expected on Thursday. Now, it's going to be a similar situation to what we're seeing today. Now, in general, I think in the early morning hours, not as much activity. I do think some lingering activity in the western part of the state, but no severe storms to worry about. The difference for tomorrow is I do think the severe threat is going to start earlier, though. I think possibly as early as 2 o'clock. Notice new storms firing up in the western part of the state to start. And once again, the storms that do fire up could be severe. So let's track this activity, the chance beginning around 2 o'clock. Here we are, homebound commute, and now again becoming widespread in the Panhandle, pushing back into McCook, North Platte. So the same places we're talking about today for a chance of severe storms, tomorrow as well. And the biggest question we have right now is how long is the severe threat going to last? So this is 8 o'clock, and notice by this point, the storm's starting to push in around the Kearney area. And we do think, because this is associated with a cold front, this area of showers and storms is going to continue to spread through the evening and overnight hours into the eastern part of the state as well. But the question is it just going to be regular showers and storms, or will they be severe storms? And it's really going to depend on the exact timing. The earlier the storms arrive in the eastern part of the state, more likely they're going to be severe. The later they arrive, the less likely it is that they're going to be severe. So some uncertainty, particularly in the eastern half of the state for the evening overnight hours if there's going to be severe weather. But unfortunately, at least for the afternoon through the early evening hours for the western half of the state, yes, once again, severe storms expected in spots.